is what I always say. I think Kenya can win the World Cup. The Kenyan women's national team can actually win the World Cup way much earlier than the Kenyan men's national team. But it's out there. Let people not kill me.
Oh, hey everyone, I'm Gloria, also known as 14thgunner, and I'm here with Shon from Kenya. How are you doing, Shon?
I'm good. I'm good. A pleasure to be on the platform with you, 14th Ghana. I'm so excited about this.
Great to hear. So, starting off with the first question, what do you do?
I am a sports journalist and a digital communications specialist at the moment. I love everything sports. So I'm heavily involved in women's sports right now. I am dealing with women's football. I get to talk about women's football. I get to promote women's football. And also, I'm the digital marketing executive of the kitting company called Mafro Sports. So, kitting company where we get to dress national teams, clubs, and we have some of our biggest market is in Uganda, where we're hitting the Ugandan champions, that is KCCA FC. We have so many people down there from Kigezi Homeboys FC. We are also in the rugby world with Heathens, Buffaloes. The list is quite long. So I do so many things, but those are my major.
That's honestly great to hear about how you're taking part in multiple sports and making an impact in Africa. Second question is, how did you get into it?
How did I get into sports? Wow, that's a good question. So this is basically a father-daughter story where when I was growing up, I was very close with my dad. We still are, and I wanted his attention all the time. So to get his attention, the only time he didn't give me attention is maybe when he had gone for work, when he was doing his business, or when he was watching sports. So I was like, when he's home, he's watching sports. I think we can continue bonding. And that's how we started, watching Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan. We started watching Arsenal together. He's an FC Leopards fan, the Kenyan team. We started watching also that together. And slowly he started introducing me to Formula One, to all that. So watching all these things when I was still young. And that's when I got the interest of you know, doing sports. So I got to campus university and actually majored in the Bachelor of Science. If you see, this is how old I am. I'm trying to remember information sciences. That is what I got. But under it, there was an option. I actually wanted to do IT till third
Mhm.
year, and then fourth year is when we were measuring. And then I was like, people used to tell me, oh, you have a very good voice for radio, you have a very good voice for TV, you need to do this, and you know how to talk about sports, so why can't you take this voice and sports and put it together? And because of the passion I already had because of my dad, I was like, sure, why not? But we had already agreed with him I'm going to major in IT. But God's will prevailed, and in fourth year I majored in publishing and media studies. And the story, and as they say, the rest is history. Because going forward, I joined CGTN Africa. That is an
Mhm.
international TV station. Um, that is in 2011. Wow, I'm old. In 2011, and then I did that 4 years, but I was covering major the whole just news overall, like hard news, climate, politics, just a little bit of sports. But in 2015, I got a chance to join K24 TV, and they gave me the opportunity to be a sports presenter, reporter, and producer. They gave me my own show, and I just ran away with it. And that's when I met so many people. I've traveled the world because of sports. I've met so many people because of sports. I think I've interviewed more than 1,000 people because of sports, in different categories of sports. And here I am, even after I left K24 TV in 2020, the journey continues in the world of sports.
It's great. How does it feel to be interviewed instead of being the interviewer?
I know it's so different. Like I did not actually think about the answers. I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I nervous? Why do I feel like I have to give a perfect answer and all that? Sometimes I think it's easier being behind the microphone than actually
Mhm.
answering. It feels so weird and different. But yeah, anything to put the story out, I will do it. I hope I'm doing a good job.
You are honestly. It's supposed to be a casual
Thank you.
interview and it's very casual, so don't
Thank
worry about
you.
that. All right, the third question. Oh, before I move on, I love the fact that your
Yeah.
dad's an Arsenal fan. He taught you well, and I love that.
Yeah. I'm actually
Yeah.
a Liverpool fan. I don't know how I ended up loving Liverpool, but yeah. Yeah, our household, I think three-quarters of our household is Arsenal. So I actually wanted Arsenal to win last season. It would have meant so much to my family and to me, but it is what it is. Let's see how this season you guys will fare on.
At least you're supporting a red team, so that's good enough. All right.
Nice one. I love it.
The third question is, what impact do you believe you're making?
Ooh. You really do have good questions. For me, my whole story and my whole point right now is to make sure women's voices are heard, is to correct some of the social evils that have been thrown towards women. And that's why I'm also a podcast and, co-host of the Africa Business Podcast and producer. And here I get to talk about women's football and women's sports in general, where we have women coming on the platform and they're teaching young girls how to go after their dreams. Enough of not of just sitting behind the scenes and not talking about it. Right now we are talking about it. We are talking about the gender inequality. We are talking about, overcoming barriers and stereotypes that have been thrown towards women generation over generation. I'm a millennial, but I want Gen Z guys and Alpha G. I think that is the
The new
generation
one.
after Gen Z, yes, the new one. I want them not to go through the things we went through, or the boomers. I think they're called the baby boomers, who are before the millennials, what they went through. I want ladies to go after their dreams without being shy, or without the door being shut on them because, oh, you're a woman, sexist remarks towards you, or you have to do maybe weird things for you to get an opportunity. No, we have seen what women can do in the world. We have seen them in terms of, leadership. I had a conversation with Liz Cleveness. Her second name is a bit hard. She's the Norwegian football federation president, and her journey just in the world of football and getting to where she did. And she spoke out even during the Qatar Women's World Cup about, human rights. We want women to be vocal. We want women to enjoy their positions without feeling like they meant something, or without feeling like someone is going to do something, or they have to do something to get those positions. So that's why I'm pushing women. And sports is a place. I always use sports as a social tool to bring people together. I tell people sports is where you can actually have fun, enjoy, relax. So everything from leadership to how the clubs or the personalities are run, we have to make sure it is a flawless way. And a better way to do that is to just encourage and talk to women. So that is what I'm doing at the moment.
That's honestly amazing, and I can already see the benefits of you doing the work and making it better for my generation and the generation to come. So I really appreciate that. The fourth question is, do you have any vision for football in Kenya, specifically women's football?
Oh wow. Yes, I feel like the first step is just trying to create awareness across the country. That is what I would love to do, where people need to accept and know that it's time for women's football. Women can actually kick a ball. They want to kick a ball and they want the support. I feel like with women's football, there's so much that can be done and there's so much that can be achieved. And because I feel like with women, we bring the society together. So it can be a family sport, it can be where families go to bond. But how do we bring them to the stadium? That is what, how do we bring the fans to the stadiums to watch women's football? That is what I would love to do on the ground. Because when you talk about men's football in the country, you can see it's still struggling. It's still going through its own things, even getting fans to the stadiums, especially in the Kenya Premier League fixtures. It has been quite a problem. But when you look at the secondary school games, and you look at the high school games and all these other games, the stadiums are filled. So what are the officials not doing right, or what are what do the fans think of the Kenyan Premier League, that they're not turning up in numbers? So those are the questions we are supposed to table. So with women's football, I think we can approach it. What I would love to do is approach it in a very, very good manner, where you have people actually, coming out, supporting the ladies, pushing them. Like right now, I keep on telling people the chances of a lady footballer going abroad from Kenya are very high compared to a male footballer. So that means the market is there. That means the talent is there. So we need just to find a central point where we can bring the fans, make sure the quality of the women's game is top notch, and make sure they're not being mistreated. They're actually being paid their dues, and they're actually, enjoying the game at the same time. And this is what I always say. I think Kenya can win the World Cup. The Kenyan women national team can actually win the World Cup way much earlier than the Kenyan men's national team. But it's out there. Let people not kill me.
I actually agree with that because like the women's game is still growing all over, and especially in
Hmm.
Africa. Like I've seen some teams. I won't specify the team, but like Kenya can play better than them, and
Yes.
we have so much potential. We have players who love to play. Like me, I know a bunch of people in Nairobi, maybe not in the county I live in right now. I'm not sharing
Hmm.
it, but there are a lot of we have so much potential and we just need to hold it before it's too late, because if we lose it now we
True.
lose our spot in the African qualifiers for the World
Hmm.
Cup, and even the next
Yes.
World Cup, if we're serious, we can qualify for it because the
We
players like
can
Esther
qualify.
there who have been abroad. There's Gentrix who just went to China and she's like really talented, and I'm still learning
Hmm.
about the women's game in Kenya, and I can see talents that can play for the national team and can make change in Africa and the world as a whole. Like
Hmm.
even Zambia right now, they're winning the first World Cup, not World
Yeah.
Cup, sorry, they're winning the first World Cup.
First match, yeah. I know they've already left the World Cup. I mean, they were knocked out, but you see, the experience is what we talk about, and I feel like it's easier for the Kenyan national team because I feel like the suspension kind of also affected us a bit, definitely. But now we are back on the block. We are supposed to make sure everything gets right so that the women also feel comfortable. They can actually go out there, they can actually kick the ball, and they can actually bring it home. So the time is now, as you say, the time is now, and I can't
Yes.
also wait. I'm actually going to follow you everywhere. I have to follow up on your career. You just never know. Maybe I might be your agent. But
That's great. Yeah. But I can't wait for it because Kenya has played against Zambia and we gave them difficulty from the match that I
yeah,
watched. So
yeah,
imagine what you
yeah.
can actually do if we're on the
Mm-hmm.
Africa stage, then later on the world stage. So it's great.
True, true.
Yeah. Sadly, the last question. Do you have any
That's okay.
advice for somebody who would like to be in your position or do what you do?
Oh, wow. For me, hard work pays.
Mm-hmm.
Keep away from the drama, especially for women. I want to say being in a position of leadership or a top position, because it's not easy to be a news anchor, a sports news anchor, producer, reporter in even in Kenya. It's actually like for you have to really work super hard to put your name out there. You have to really concentrate on your work, and you really have to, and I tell women this, mind your own business. Let them talk, but do not cave in. Do not try to, sorry to use this word, to asleek. Do not try to just be in people's affairs. Identify what you like. Is it sports? Yes. Is it women's football? Yes. Go out there, bond with the women players, bond with the officials, not bonding in a weird way, but just getting to know what do they do, what drives them, how do they go about it, how do they put things together, understand the game in their eyes, understand the game from an official eyes, a referee's eyes, understand the game from a player's eyes, understand the game from now a reporter's, you as yourself as a reporter. And then when you put these things together, the content that you put out there won't just to be fun content, but it will also be very educative to the masses. So people will actually reach out to you. And actually, with this digital age, I tell people you do not need to do anything for anyone. Do it for yourself and put it out there on the internet. Trust me, someone is watching. I was scared a bit when I left TV in 2020, like, oh, so how will I move? How do I get my next coin? What will I do? And I just had this voice from God telling me, Shon, you got it. You've talked to these people, you have all the connections, continue doing what you're doing, but then just put it on the internet. And that's what I did. And I'm telling you, it has been just up and up and up from there. And I think one of the moment that really warmed my heart was when I was called up as a media officer for the CAF Women's Champions League, the Sekafa qualifiers, and it was just amazing meeting people from across East Africa. You know, now being on the pitch, you know, most of the time when you're a journalist, you're in the stands. There's a place they put for journalists, but when you're a media officer, you're like literally, you know, the players are seated there when the game is going on, and you're here. It was just very eye opening, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just got this, and I was not on TV, but I kept on supporting the women's game. I kept on supporting women. I kept on pushing women. I kept on talking about them. I do not. ask anyone for anything. I won't ask, oh, give me money so that I can cover your story. I don't do that. That's something I said when I joined TV, that I will never ever ask anyone for money to air their stories. So everything I did it out of my heart, and that is what it's like. And it opens doors because there's so many opportunities, especially with the digital age. TikTok guys, Instagram, continue posting. Someone somewhere is watching. Don't forget to put the hashtags women's football. So when we come to search women's football on TikTok, we can easily find your content. So push, push, push. Don't give up. Don't listen to the naysayers. Mind your own business and just do your job. That's the only thing I would say to guys want to get into broadcasting.
That really spoke to me personally. I may not want to get in broadcasting mainly, but I may. Though I
No,
really
you're
love
very
the way.
good. Please go for it. Connect the game. You see, because this is what I remember growing up, the pundits on TV were not all that. But right now, what they did is that they're taking former football players and they're putting them on TV. And you see, the good thing is that even when you stop kicking the ball, because you have to think about your future after you stop kicking the ball, right? So you can get into a position because you're eloquent, you understand the game. Not all football players can actually talk about football. Not all football players are eloquent and they can explain the game, right? They can play the game, but they explain the game to the masses. So that is why I would encourage you to continue pushing this, because you never know. You might be kicking the ball, but at the same time, you're like, okay, this is what we want this to preview this game and see how it will go. Can you please come to the studios and do that, because they have seen your potential? And it's just not only on TV, but also on digital, because so many investors, they're now putting their money on the digital platform, because there's no way you're going to tell Gen Z to watch TV they say Gen Z cannot watch TV for like 90 minutes straight. You understand? How do you capture that? So how do you bring that information in a more fun, interactive way to their device? You understand? So that's why we have people like you. So
Yeah.
keep pushing. And this is the digital age. You can do as many things as you want. Go kick your ball, enjoy your football when you're playing it. At the same time, come, interact, talk to other footballers, talk to people in the industry. Just have fun and grow your network.
Thank you. Thank you. I really love how like
Welcome.
you're so passionate about what you do. You want to connect with the players, the fans, and like tell their
Mhm.
stories. And lots of people really lack that because the more um they do it because of the money most of the time. So it's good that you
Yeah.
are mainly focusing on the stories rather than the money, and
The
that's
money
really
will
great.
come. The money will always come. There are projects when you sign up for them and you're paid in dollars. I love that. And like you're appreciated. They know if I'm getting Shon on board, we're not giving her less than this. You understand? And it's because of the work you put in. Do not squeeze anyone to get to a higher point of the position you want. Help people. Trust me, it always comes back to you. So don't worry. And enjoy. Enjoy while you're doing it. Don't be too serious. It's sports. Don't be too serious. Have fun. Yeah.
All right, that's a great way to end the interview. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Sean, for giving me the opportunity and the time to
Thank you.
interview you. And I don't have much of a background, but you took the risk to be interviewed by
Yeah.
a kid. So yeah, that's
No,
great.
no. You already inspire me. You already inspire me. Honestly, I've enjoyed this. And I like how it is short and straight to the point. I love Gen Z. No, hakuna story mingi. I love Gen Z. You guys continue doing what you're doing. You guys know what you want. Push, push, push. Don't give up. And this is amazing. I can't wait to watch it, and I can't wait to also push it on my social media. It's the least I can do on my social media platforms. I'll be here cheering you on. Anything you want, please let me know.
Thank you so, so much. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Bye.